Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to another evening of hopefully entertainment of your images this evening in the President's Challenge. That's my challenge that I set you, although it became a little bit easier because of the current situation. I brought it to an open competition, but nevertheless, it's still not easy to get those all-winning entries in. So let's just have a look who's in. And everybody's in early today. Blooming heck, really is early. Gail was there really early. Good evening, Gail, Tony. I'll just read a comment too whilst I go down. Oh, Tony's onto the chocolate. He wants a flake. Oh, and popcorn. Blooming heck. Nevertheless, Jill was there. Yes, you are getting slow, Jill. You'll have to move a bit quicker to be up on that front seat. Good evening, Sue and Richard. Who else have we got? Scrolling down a little bit. Good evening, Dane. Had Peter, Tony, Caroline. Good evening, Caroline O. Welcome to you. Who else? So we got Neil. Good evening, Neil. Nice to have a quick chat on the old technology just a short while ago. Good evening, Vera. I'll stop at this point and just say good evening, Jan, if you're listening up there in Scotland. And good evening, I'm just thinking of the others, Crispine. Good evening to you. Good evening, Doreen. You were going to say it's quite comical, actually, when you sit here and read through all of the comments at this precise time. Good evening, Michael Hudston. Welcome this evening. Alan. Good evening, Alan. It was great to have the walk around earlier in the week. Good evening, Jill Pardo. Welcome to yourself. I think I've said hello to Vera. Yes, I have. Good evening, Vera. Who else? Well, am I down to the bottom of the list now? Oh, no. Good evening, Paul and Bob. Good evening. Michael Hughes, good evening, sir. And now I am down to the bottom of the... oh, no, I'm not. Caroline and Dave have just popped in. So they're going to have to take virtually the back row tonight. So everybody's here nice and early and raring to go. So I'm just doing one or two little things whilst we're talking, or I'm talking. So as I've mentioned once, we're doing the President's Challenge tonight, and I'll just let you all into a little secret. Jill has been getting on to me saying, can you just let me know the numbers of the top 3 that you've picked? I haven't picked them yet, so I've given her a few numbers to be going on with, but I'm still not in a position to say which one of these great images is going to be up there this evening. So let's just see if anybody else is popped in. Yeah, good evening, Mark. And Ray. Yes, good evening, Ray, as well. So we're getting a fairly full house now. So it's good to see everybody here on time and ready. We've just got another couple of minutes. I'll just give it 2 minutes before I make the announcements, just so that everybody's watching, etc. We have got the calendar for right up to the end of the year now filled. So although one I haven't put on yet, we have got all of the dates on the website and what we're doing up to that time. So pop across to the website, have a look at the front page, the home page, and scroll down a little bit and you'll see what we're doing for the rest of the year. Don't forget, this evening, if you could all please click that like button, that would be very much appreciated. And hopefully by the end of the evening, you won't just like what we're doing, you'll absolutely love it. Well, 3 people will. So, and there is nobody here who won't be happy with the results. So well done to everybody. I've not seen that started. Yeah, I've just seen Doreen's comment. So yes, if I'll just tell you all my bank account details, and then you can drop the money in as we go along. I've already done it. So yes, at least Jill knows who may win, but she certainly doesn't know who will win. So yeah, that's right. So right, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to read these couple of announcements out. We've got normal Bob's monthly challenge, the one that the chairman sets each year for the month. I must admit, if Bob could just drop it, what it is this month, into the chat here, that would be good, because I don't know what it is this month because I don't look. So, but that, don't forget, finishes on the 20th of the month, so that's coming up shortly. Also, next Thursday is the final day to get your entries in to for Bob's, or I should say for the chairman's challenge for the year. And Bob's challenge this year was images of bridges, large, small, anything goes, so bridges. The other one is a little bit something totally different. One of our old chairmans, he moved away from the area with work, has approached me. He now lives over in the Halifax area, and John Butterfield was a great help to me during the very early days in the late 90s when it was all being set up, and he took quite a bit on to help and assist to get the club up and going. So John's been in touch, and he suggested that the Halifax Photographic Society, of which he is president of, he would like us to become, I suppose, not a twinning club, but and I'm sure you're all saying the word for me now and I can't think of it, but a friends club. And so what's been suggested, and he's putting it to his committee tonight, is that we're going to have some bits of competitions, bits of entertainment between us, etc., etc. And we're going to start off with a Lincolnshire and Yorkshire area where we live, in other words, images from the area. So we're going to put in the external folder in Dropbox, we're going to put another folder, and we'll name it Halifax v Dunholm images. So any pictures of Dunholm, and I will send this round in an email as well, of course. Get some images of Lincolnshire to show our excuse me, to show our area, and to let those people who've not been across this side of the country know a little bit about this area. All you need to do is put a title and where the picture was taken, and if we want any more, we can ask you for it accordingly. So we'll send you an email out about that, but that is going to happen on the 24th of November. Now, it will be in a different format because they don't think that they are at a position where they could hold this sort of a session on YouTube, do it this way. So they're going to be doing it via Zoom. And so we will be sending out a link to you to be able to join the Zoom meeting, and we can meet the club and see them, etc. So we'll give you more of that later on. I'm just going to have a very quick back look at the chat here. Who else has joined? Good evening, Vivian. Vivian's joined. Keith, good evening, Keith. That's why I didn't give you the bank account, the details, Michael Hudston. Anyway, it won't be a lot. Caroline. Oh, this month's looks like this month's competition is leaves, from what Caroline's put, I believe. Right. Yep. So I've said hello and good evening to everybody. So without further ado, we shall move on to the competition. Some absolutely brilliant entries in tonight. Whether you're a starter to competitions or whether you are a mature, and I don't mean that in age, but I mean that in having done competitions a lot before, then there is some really good images to be seen this evening. Grahame H has just popped in, so sorry I'm late, just got back from York. We should have just have got on a little bit quicker, Grahame. Anyway, President's Challenge. Yeah, this time it was an open competition. It was going to be buildings, but at the time when I decided to change it to an open, I felt that it may not be able, or people may not be able to get out. So it's an open competition, so you're going to see a really good mixture of everything. And without further ado, I'm going to explain how I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you the images for a start, right through, for you to make your own minds up. And then I'm going to, although we don't normally score on this competition, I want to score this evening just purely so you see where your image would have sat in amongst the images that are here tonight. So the scores don't mean anything, because there'll only be a first, a second and a third at the end of the day. So right, let me just get rid of a few bits and bring a few pictures up. And our first one is, let me just make it nice and big for you. The first one is, oh no, it's not, because I'm going to show you them all the way through. So let me just scroll through them so that you can have a good look at them. I'll give you a title for a start. A Quiet Day in Castle Square. A Tranquil Stream. A True Tree House. Atlantic Puffin. Autumn Threads. Bamborough Castle. Beach Shack. Black Grouse. Blowing the Bagpipes. Blue Tit. Bradgate House Ruins in Autumn. Brampton Cliffs. Brooklyn Bridge lines and layers. Brown hair streak. Burning log. Chaffinch. Cheetah stretch. Cluster fly. Common tern. Damselflies mating. Dover Court Lighthouse 3. Dusk Clearwater Beach. Enjoying the evening sun. Fat Cat Motocross. Female kestrel with mouse. Findhorn Valley. Gannet Love. Go on, you know you want to. Going for a run. Great tit feasting. Heat haze beyond the sandbar. Highland cow. Holding tight. Horse. In need of renovation. It's in there somewhere. Pied Wagtail. Just got the joke. Kings and Harbour. Last summer walk along the river. Red. Lavender. Lazy lioness. Lead me to the altar. Lucky dip at Bradley Wood. Lynx pop flare. Marking container from Gowd, Naga Village. Marsh fritillaries next year's butterflies. Mating snails. Michael Beauty at low tide. Misty sunset. Mossdale Beck, North Yorkshire. Nuthatch. Our work is done. President shot. Puffin in flight. Red squirrel. Reflections. Robin out on a limb. Run, zebra, run. Shieldbug on dahlia petal. Ski lift. Speed. Sunset in the Wolds. Taking in the view. Tattooist. Tawny owl. The bistro. The busker. The day we got drenched. The ideal setting for romance. The kill. Towards the cathedral. Worker leaving. And that's your final image. Just before I go back, I want to find my mouse, which disappeared. I did something wrong just then, which made everything disappear. So let me just get rid of myself and do that. So I'll be back with you in a minute when everything goes off and I start again. Right, here we go. So your first image this evening. This is a quiet day in Castle Square. Very nice image, nicely sharp from front, you know, these people here in the front, right through to the cathedral in the back here. One or two bright highlights in a place or two. We've got the west gate here, and we've got, naturally the whites on here are white, so that doesn't matter. This is a little bit white, and of course we've got a very bland sky. One thing that does catch my eye on this one is this aerial here. I think I would have just have cloned that out to get rid of it. If, and it would have been allowed in this competition, if you could have done a little bit with the sky to get some detail of sorts in there. Yes, it could have been a blue sky day, and it's with changing it to black and white, it's just showing as a light colour. But a little bit of detail in this sky would have helped the image. Nevertheless, very nice image, good blacks, good whites, and good tones throughout. We've got even a photographer here, look, taking a picture. So well done to the author on that one. That one, if it had been in a normal competition, I would have given that one 17. The next one, a tranquil stream. Can I just go back, because these that I'm giving a score to, I need just to delete. A tranquil stream when I get it out. Yeah, very nice. Firstly, and my first thought is, it's a very slightly little bit possibly undersaturated. I think you could have punched your colours up and brought these colours out a little bit nicer. I like the way that it's a natural vignette of greens around these corners, and we're drawn straight into the stream and straight through, and we've got the trickling water on both of these two here, so that works really, really well. We've just got these nice bits of colour coming in on the sides, the yellows, and then the heads of the weeds and grasses, etc. Some nice reflections in here, so a very nice image. One that's not going to go through this evening, but I think with a little bit more work on that one, a little bit extra clarity, a little bit extra punch to the colours, would have just have improved it nicely. But nevertheless, very nice image, 16. A true tree house. Yep, very nice image. I'm not going to say at this stage too much about that one, because I'm going to hold it back. It's well taken, well seen. I appreciate it's possibly a tourist attraction type thing. I'm not sure at all. One shouldn't never assume, but it's a very nice image, and I'm just going to hold that one back. Atlantic Puffin, and thank you to those who have put the Latin names in, etc. When it comes to animals and birds, etc., it is always good to put the Latin names in, so it just helps, just to especially on natural history type competitions. Excellent image of the puffin. The authors managed to keep the whites down quite nicely, except for just this bit just on its shoulder there, or on its chest there. We've just got blown out whites on its chest and just around the eye on this top side. This side, with it being in a slight bit of shade, it's just nicely held the detail in there. And of course underneath we've got some great detail. It's amazing how that sun is shining on these its feet, and it's reflecting back up underneath here, this orange. But that's really good. Got a little bit of, you can see it's going this way, and we've got a little bit more room for it to move into than behind it. You could, if you'd wanted, take a little slither extra off this side. So do think about it. And it's space behind the bird, so you know, you could have got rid of it had you wanted. But nevertheless, very nice image, so I'm holding that one back. Autumn threads. Yeah, we've got these threads of the, no doubt, spiders, etc., up on this one single stem. As of the images this evening, although this is a very good record shot of the specimen here with the spider threads, etc., it's not quite as powerful as some of them this evening. The background is lovely and soft, out of focus. The two top corners are a little dark. If it had been a vignette, it would have been lighter, and these of course are natural elements in the background, so consequently you can't control them too much. The one thing that does keep catching my eye on this particular image is this little bit at the bottom corner here, on this left bottom corner. That should have been gotten rid of. Gotten, is gotten a word? It should have gone. And so just take that look around your images and make sure that you get rid of those little distracting elements. Autumn threads gets 16. Bamborough Castle. Very nice picture of the castle. Great detail throughout, right from the top to the bottom. The sun's nicely on it, so it's lit nicely, and we've got little bits of shadow in this deep stone on this side, and this brickwork here, and the rock that it stands on as well. I think although this is a very nice image in its own right, I think the one thing that lets it down is we've got so much brilliant detail in all of this part of the building that we've got quite a lot of bland wall on this area here, which I just feel lets it down a little bit. I don't know, I've never been to Bamborough Castle, so I don't know where you stand to get your images, but maybe if we could have had some nicer windows, maybe on a different section where the sun was, it may just have helped the image along. But nevertheless, some lovely colours, good sharp image in itself, and one certainly to still be proud of. And Bamborough Castle gets 16. Beach shack. Yep, certainly is what it says on the beach, and a shack. Should it be called a shack to have some sort of a full roof covering? Don't know. Nevertheless, very nice image. You know, the author's seen it. I like the angle you've taken it at, because as we're stood with the photographer, we can see into it and how to get through into there. If they'd taken this image from the front straight on, then it wouldn't have been as pleasing. So well done for seeing this entrance and just getting it in there. Excuse me. So nevertheless, nice image. Nice bits of colour here and there where they've put these bits of flowers, etc. And we can see all the bits of rope tying it together, and where it's dropped together, and etc, etc, all lent up against each other, and good detail in the woods. I wouldn't suggest cropping anything or doing anything. You've got it about spot on there for in the frame. So very well done on that one. So Beach Shack would have got 16 in a normal competition from myself. Black grouse. Very nice image. I wish I'd taken it. I haven't taken a picture of a black grouse. Excuse me 2 seconds. Quick slurp. Not taking a picture of a black grouse. Good example, this one. I'm not sure whether the image has been cropped quite a bit, but although the image, it looks as though it's sharp, the sharpest element is this rear end of the bird here. So its head is fairly sharp. Now that could be because it's been cropped quite a bit. It could be in post-production. I'm not too sure. If you're seeing the image as I am, then it is looking a little bit of a mistiness on the whole image. So a little bit of a clarity, a little bit of contrast, just to boost these feathers and to give us a little bit more detail in there and take away the mistiness from the bird. But nevertheless, I am jealous. I would certainly have liked to have taken that photograph, and I would have been highly delighted to have done so. Black grouse, 17. Blowing the bagpipes. Bye. It's got some... certainly some pressure building up there, hasn't he? And the effort, you know, the eyes are closed and you can see the effort that's being put into it. So great detail in all of the bagpipe and the player himself. What do you call a person who plays bagpipes? A bagpipist? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the detail's great. Top to bottom, side to side. I think for myself, only one tiny little thing that I would have said on this particular image is you've got a window or a door down this side. I would have just have cropped a tiny little bit more so that I can't see this line going down the side. So just once again, take a look around your image. And a piper. Thank you, Keith. I'm really pleased somebody knew. So yeah, just get rid of that line down that side and it would have just have stopped my eye roaming across there. Once again, very nice image, very sharp, and had it been in a normal competition, and don't forget, I'm not looking at this image as an absolute individual image. I've got to look at it against the other images here tonight. So it is looking at them all as a whole and how it fits into the competition. So that one gets 16 points. Blue tit. Yeah, we've got a very nice sample of the blue tit here, and great detail, absolutely wonderful background with some actually I know the little branch that it's on has absolutely nothing to do with the bird, but even it's a good example with all of the bits of lichen on it, etc. So that one is just going through for another look. Bradgate House ruins in autumn. Yep, very nice image, great detail, back to front. We've got some detail in all of these grasses, the rocks, the brickwork, etc. And just to let those people who like to join us on the monthly days out, we will be going to Bradgate in November. So the first week of November we shall be going to Bradgate near Leicester. So we'll let you know as soon as we know a date. So Bradgate House ruins in autumn, absolute fine detail, and I'm going to keep that one. Brampton Cliffs. Yep, very nice, subtle image. Good evening, Martin. I see you've just popped in. Yeah, very nice, subtle image. of the tones just as either the sun set or is beginning to set, and we've got those reflections down onto the sand, the wet sand, and into the water accordingly. The very difficult with these sort of images to get everything sharp, because of course the water's on a move, so we can't get that sharp. We could do a faster shutter speed to freeze it if we wanted, but here we've got a slightly slower shutter speed, which has just given us that sense of movement there. The cliffs in the background with relatively sharp, you know, they're not too bad at all, and this leading line of the cliffs lead us across the water and we end up here. So very nice, pleasing image, but not up there with the stronger ones this evening, but great image still. 15. Brooklyn Bridge lines and layers. Yep, we've got a tremendous amount to look at here, and I just wonder whether that's its slight letdown. I'm not getting a specific part of the image for my eye to settle on. There's two things in this image that draw me to that particular point, and one is this person in red here, which my eye goes to, and the other one is this crane on the top of this building. And if I have to choose a third element, it's this white car coming under the bridge. And so I'm jumping about in the image and not picking up the specific element, or a specific element in the image. So if you could have positioned yourself, and I don't know whether you could or not, it would have been nice for that building to have been dead in the centre there. That would have worked a little bit better. But nevertheless, lovely sharp image from back to front. Great image. So it isn't going through, but it's got a 15. Right, this next one, brown hair streak. Very good example of the butterfly, and great detail. We can see all the antennae, the body area, the tips of the wings, etc., and the detail in the wing. So another very nice image, which I'm going to keep, and it's going through. Burning log. Yeah, very nice shot of this burning log. That sounds strange in a way to say it's a very nice shot of a burning log, but the photographer has coped with this image extremely well. You know, when you think that you've got all of these flickering flames, that some areas are glowing very, very hot, so they do go sort of to very white, and the author's managed to virtually keep them all in. Then we've got the glowing embers, we've got the bits of smoke coming off this one big log along the front here, and then we've got this base of this red, deep red at the bottom. So well done on that one. And I'm just wondering, I don't know, because you've got the top of the frame here of the fire, I think I might have cropped it there, because all we've got is an element of black up there. So you could have cropped the image across that top of the frame, and it would have just have stopped me even mentioning it. There is one little obvious mark in the middle here, which I think it could have been dealt with quite easily. Not sure whether it's just an ember from the fire, or whether it's a scratch, or I don't know what it is, but it could have gone. Burning log, it would have got 15 in a normal competition. Chaffinch. Yeah, once again, a very nice image of the chaffinch. I think the only thing that I'm going to say about this one, I would have probably have taken a little slither off the back. So take a slither off the back there and give it a little bit more extra room in front. Nice image. Going to keep that one. Cheetah stretch. Yeah, very nice image once again. Lovely tones and colours. I think the background could possibly have been rendered a little bit softer. I appreciate that your angle, your timing, you don't have a lot of time to change things, but it could have been a little bit softer in the background, but still an extremely nice image, which is going to go through for now. Cluster fly, and once again, great image. We've got a few little on my screen here. It's just showing a little bit of deterioration in the background where it's probably been cropped in, which is just a little bit off-putting. I couldn't think of the word. And we've got some lighter marks around these front legs here. So there's one or two little artifacts in this image that does let it down, but I'll tell you what, it is a cracking image. And if that had been in a competition just for macro, that would be right up there with them. I'm going to keep it for the time being. Common tern. Yeah, flying common tern, well caught. They do hover nicely to be able to get them, and on this occasion you've just caught it in a nice position. I think if we could have managed this one in a landscape orientation, because this blue area underneath it really is, yes, it's looking into it, but we can't see what it's looking at. So if we'd got a little bit more room in front of the bird, we don't need any more at the back, but a little bit more in the front, because it was in landscape orientation, I think that would have helped it. Unfortunately, we can't see the eye, and we can't see a catch light in the eye. So I'm not sort of saying that you should do it, but you can put a little catch light in the eye if you really want. Not supposed, well, I was going to say not supposed to. That's totally up to you. So, but yeah, very nice image, nice and sharp. 17 points if it had been in a normal competition. Damselflies mating. Yeah, very nice. It's unusual actually, because I sort of feel that you wouldn't expect, and I don't know the names of the damselflies, but the green and the blue to actually mate. But nevertheless, very sharp. Lovely detail in the wings. All of these up here. We lose a bit on this one at the top here. I feel that you've cropped it in such a way that this big leaf here is very dominating. I think what you should have done is taken quite a slice off the bottom here, which would have got rid of this little red corner that you've left. So that would have got rid of part of the leaf, even if you hadn't have zoomed in cropped in quite as much to the image. But where it needs to be sharp, it is. But I do think it's just a little bit let down on this bit at the bottom. So damselflies mating would have got 16 from me. Dovercourt Lighthouse 3. Now I wondered what the 3 was, whether there's 3 images or whether there's 3 elements in the picture. We've got these couple of lads swimming in the foreground. We've got the lighthouse. And then we've got the boat in the background. Got a nice triangle working here, so that works really well. And Dover Lighthouse I'm keeping. Dusk Clearwater Beach. Yeah, I'm not sure whether the author has taken the image and unfortunately it wasn't quite clear at the time, so has decided to make the people into silhouette. But maybe if you'd gone a little bit further and made this into silhouette and cropped a chunk off the bottom here, it would have been stronger. It is a nice image in itself, no doubt about that. Great image in itself, and I hope you're very proud of the image. But I think it just does want a few little things doing to it. Love the bird here, love the boat. They all work really, really well. This you should have had a slight crop off this side to get rid of this half person. So, but nevertheless, very nice image. That one would have got 16 in a standard competition. Enjoying the evening sun. Yep, very good picture of the robin. I'm just going to move on a little bit now because we're getting on. I think you should have rotated the frame a little bit to get the bird sitting nice and horizontal so that it just tilted the bird back a little bit, which would have been a little bit more pleasing to view the bird. Very, very nice, very sharp, a little bit dark on the back here, but nevertheless very good. A little bit of a crop off this back behind the bird here wouldn't have hurt, but rotated a little bit just to get it sitting squarer for myself. That one 17. Fat Cat Motocross. Very nice image. We've got some great movement in the wheels, we've got great movement in the background, and the person's lovely and sharp. So possibly a very, very slight bit of movement, but it is a very good image in its own right. I think from having done motocross and taking motocross pictures for a living and selling the images, they do like to see the ground in the image, because this rider could be 10 foot off the ground or he could be 2 foot off the ground, but they like in the images to see the ground. Nevertheless, the motorcyclist is in exactly the right place on the third here, plenty of room to move into. It's not going to go through this evening, but I've given that one a 17. Female kestrel with mouse, very nice image. It's really, it's really good to see the fact that it's got the prey there. We can see all of this detail in the wood here, so that's really nice. And the background's totally out of focus, but there's great deal throughout the bird, so I'm just keeping that one. Findhorn Valley. Love it. Absolutely love Findhorn Valley. Every group I take up to Scotland goes up here. So it really is a stunning place. It's funny that I've been up there dozens of times and I still, in my head, I just can't work out which angle and where the person's taken this from. But nevertheless, it's an amazing image. I think a little bit more contrast into the image, or a little bit of clarity, would have boosted all of these little elements in the picture, all these grasses and the side of the wall here. But I'm going to keep that one for the time being. Gannet Love. Yep, very nice image. The pairing, bill-to-bill situation. Great control of the lighting. We've just got a little bit on this back wing here on the bird's back that's just a little bit white, but you've controlled that exceptionally well, so I'm going to keep that one. Go on, you know you want to. I mean, people could say, well, it's just pigeons, but look at the detail in those. Very, very good detail. And we've got the eyes of them all. The eyes are nice and bright. Really, really good example of this image, so I'm keeping that one. going for a run. Yeah, we've got the one starling, the young starling to the left that's staying on the post, and the adult there shooting off somewhere. Unfortunately, because of the bird just moving, it's gone a little bit soft, but this young bird at the front is nice and sharp. I do wonder whether one or two of you are possibly cropping your images just a little bit too much. We would still have got the meaning of the image even if it hadn't have been so close up. So by cropping it, you introduce this noise in these darker colours in the background and on the bird here itself. So do consider and do look at it at different crops. Your positioning's grand here with plenty of room for it to go into, but that one on a normal night I would have given it 16. Great tit feasting. Yeah, it's very good image, but it is just slightly soft over the bird, and by the time you get to the head, the eye area is just a little bit soft. So it's nearly there. I would possibly have taken a crop off the bottom to get rid of some of this. This is so strong in the element in the picture. It's bigger than the bird. So just take a slither off there and it would have strengthened it. Don't worry about, having a conventional shaped image, a square or a 4:3 or a 3:2, whatever it ends up to make your image right. You crop it where you want to. But the great tit gets 15. Heat haze beyond the sandbar. Yep, once again, very nicely caught. The heat and the haze does give the effect that nothing's in focus. So consequently, it does just give us a softness within the image across the sandbar and in the water. We've got the three elements in here. We've got the water, the sandbar, and the water and the turbines at the back. I've not really, except for these turbines, I've not got a single element to settle on. So I think I would have liked to have seen something a little stronger. But nevertheless, well caught, nicely seen, and heat haze gets, or would have got 15. Highland cow, nice image, nice and sharp, a little bit dark at the front and under its chin, so that just is a little bit dark. Background quite bright, but nevertheless this is strong enough to take that away from us. So nicely caught, nicely seen, nice and sharp at the foreground here. We've just got a little bit here that's out of focus. Maybe you could have, mind you, I wouldn't want those rocks taken out. So yeah, I think you're about right. So, but the Highland cow would have got 17. Holding tight, great image, lovely and sharp. I'm going to keep that one. The horse, and it's got the Latin equus. Absolutely stunning image. So we'll keep that one for the time being. In need of renovation. I think the author has controlled the lighting absolutely brilliantly. We've got great detail from front right for going through the door, sides, back, roof, ceiling, I mean everywhere. So because it's the one of its only sort, I'm going to keep that one. It's in there somewhere, pied wagtail. Yeah, very nice image. Once again, I do think you might have cropped in a little bit strong again. Great image, nice and sharp, nothing wrong with the image, but I am just wondering whether a little bit further away view would have done it. But lovely, be proud of that image. It's a very good one, and I would have given that one 16. Just got the joke. Yeah, you can see the title going with the image. This particular one, we've just got a few bright spots on it here in the mouth, and we have cropped it. I know it's difficult, it all happens so quick, but I would have liked to have seen the tail. I appreciate we've got the tail from the other one in the background there, but I would have liked to have seen the tail. This rock is a little bit bright, but it's not too bad. But yeah, very nice image, lovely and sharp throughout. 15. Kings and Harbour. Yeah, brilliant shot, lovely, nice and sharp. We've got all the elements in it. We've got these relaxing areas, we've got people walking, we've got the harbour here, we've got the houses, the clock, we've got everything in it. I can't really say that there's anything that I would want doing to this image. I just wonder though whether it would have been possible to move around to your left a little bit so that this wall wasn't quite as strong. For me, this wall is very, very dominating in the image. So it just spoils it a little bit for me. Go a bit further left, get a shot through that area there with this, probably to there on this side, because this building's not as interesting as the whole of the forefront. So 16 points. Last summer walk along the river, red. So whether the river is River Red, I'm not sure, but last summer walk along the River Red. Nice image, nice colours, very subtle colours. I feel that if, and this is a big if you could have taken one step to the right, you would have been in the river. No, one step to the right and tried to get this here, even if you'd stood where you was and held your camera sideways and took quite a few images so that we could get rid of this element in the picture to one side. So, but nevertheless, very sharp image throughout, very nice image, and I gave that one 16. Lavender. Yeah, very nice image. Very simple image, but it works, you know, so I'm going to keep that one for the time being. Lazy Lioness. Yeah, very subtle colours once again because of the area that it's in, the dry grass, and it blends in really well with that. It does, the eyes and the nose do just look a little bit soft, whereas the back area here looks lovely and sharp. So this area here is lovely and sharp, but we are losing a little bit of movement, and that could be because of a slightly slower shutter speed and the lioness is moved ahead a little bit. But nevertheless, very good try, 17 points. Lead Me to the Altar. Very good image. I'm just going to keep that one for the time being. Lucky Dip at Bradley Wood. Yeah, no doubt there's some peanuts or something in there. Nice image, nice and sharp. It's just losing it a little bit. This head's just a little bit further away, so it's just losing it a little bit. And it's a little bit bright on its back end here. But nevertheless, very nice image. I would have given that one 15. Lynx Pop Flare. Yeah, the pop flare for any incoming rockets. I couldn't think what word was that I was trying to think of there. Rockets. And then we've got it. We're led through here and we're led up to the helicopter. It is in silhouette nearly, so we are losing. We can see losing detail there. We are getting this movement on the prop, which shows which is good. Very nice image, well caught. Do we need this blue on this side? Maybe not. We don't. I don't think. Make it a square image. So, and that one I would have given 16. Right. Excuse me, just a sec. A quick slurp. Right, number 45, making container from gourd. And that, for anybody who wants to know, that's spelt G-O-U-R-D in Naga Village. Very nice image. We've got absolutely superb detail throughout the whole image. This seat does just look slightly distorted from the closeness and the angle of the lens, but after saying that, in these foreign countries it could be a misshapen one anyway. So lovely detail in all of the lady, her face and her clothing, etc. And I'm just going to keep that one. Marsh fritillaries, next year's butterflies. Yeah, once again some great detail. Just a little bit on these wing ends, but it's nearly there. I think with a bit of selective sharpening, possibility is that you could have brought that back. Once again, with cropping in, we're introducing some noise into these darker areas. Just think about that fact, everybody. You know, you don't, if it's a good image that'll stand the test of time, leave it out a little bit, and it won't hurt it. But the marsh fritillaries is 17 points. Mating snails. Yeah. Is it? It's a difficult one when you look at natural history and put it into black and white. And I'm just wondering whether I would have liked to have seen it. There might have been an element in the picture that the author felt that it was better in black and white. A little bit of clarity into this image, or nowadays I use texture, because texture, if you're using Photoshop, texture doesn't add noise, whereas clarity does add noise. So a little bit of texture in there and it would have made these swirls look really nice. It would have brought all this detail out in the shells. But nevertheless, a very, very nice image, one to be proud of. I would have given that 17. Michael Beauty at low tide. Absolutely cracking image. Nice colours, nice reflection, nice boat. Going to keep that one, have a look at it again. Misty sunset. Yeah, once again, lovely image. Hot country, brings in the mist as the sunset comes in. Lovely reflections over the front here, so I'm going to keep that one. Moss Side, Beck, North Yorkshire. Yep, very nice image. We've got the waterfall here in the foreground, and then that leads us upstream. So consequently, we can be led in and we reach this mountain, and you've got some nice sun on that, which is very fortunate. I just wonder whether you could have forsaked some of this sky to have got a little bit more of the waterfall in. I don't know what was there. It may just have helped, because we would have had a bit more interesting waterfall. We've got some movement in this water, which is nice. Some people like this amount, some people like it milky. It's your own picture, so you do what you want. Very nice image. That one I would have given 16. Nuthatch. Once again, very nice image. I think from the coloration, etc., it's very nice. It may be that it's a young bird, I don't know, but it is just a touch lighter on the top than what I remember them. So I think just a very, very slightly little bit overexposed just on its back here where the light's catching it. Lovely catch lights in the eye. Great detail right down to the claws and this piece of wood. So very, very good example. Not as good as some of the other bird ones tonight, so I'm going to let this one go, but I would have given it a 17. Our work is done. Another stunning picture. Love this one. as well. I love them all. There's so many good images tonight, but I'm going to keep this one. This is the winning one. No, it's not. This shot is one that I had no idea was going to be in the competition. I still have no idea who took it, and I must have been concentrating. The only thing that I would say is that when I do photographic training, I tell everybody that they should keep both eyes open, and I'm really pleased that I've got both eyes open on this occasion. So I think there is a tendency with this image that it's possibly, and I don't know, but it could have been too slower shutter speed, or when it was taken it was on a long zoom, because we've got a slight bit of movement on the wording and on the wording on the hat here. This is relatively sharp, but we can see just a double on here. So unfortunately it's just got a little bit of camera shake in it, and it's just a little bit soft, as is the person. So President Shot gets 15. The Puffin in Flight, great image. I'm not going to hold this one back, but it is a great example. Unfortunately, I think the angle for the author, it absolutely spot on to be able to catch this bird in this flight, because they go like hell. But its head's down. We can't quite see its eye as we'd like to. Lovely out of focus background, but nevertheless, great image. It would have been 17 points. Red squirrel, yeah, very nice. On this occasion, I don't know whether it's because it's been cropped in again or whether it's on a long zoom, but we do get some smudging in the detail. It's sharp enough, but because of the either cropping in or the zoom was on a long zoom at the time, we've got some smudging in the squirrel. But nevertheless, 17 points for the squirrel. Reflections, very nice image. I do think you've got it a little bit small in the frame, and I think with having such an expansive green, you could have made it letterbox, some off the top, some off the bottom. Just leave this bit of reflection in here, so take it off somewhere here and make it a letterbox, and it might have been stronger. So very good try though, and it's once again a good image, you know, but 15 for reflections. Robin out on a limb, once again possibly a crop. It's just softened the bird a bit. We've got some great detail in these leaves, so we know it's there, but it could have been cropped because of this black halo around both the bird and the leaves. So I'm just a little unsure on what's going on there, but that one would normally have got 15. Run Zebra Run, I'm just looking at the time, it's just coming up to 8. So Run Zebra Run, great image, I'm going to keep that one. Shield Bug on Dahlia Petal, once again, could you get it much sharper? It has got quite a bit of noise in here, but I'm keeping it anyway, so I'll discuss that one afterwards. Ski Lift, very interesting image. It's the last one I'm doing before our break. So Ski Lift, very nice image. A little bit confusing because we've got the comings and goings. We know which is coming and we know which is going. But it's an interesting one, and you've just managed to get it between the two towers, which is really good. And then the nice subtle sky in the background. That one I would have given 16. Right, I'm going to stop there. We'll have the 10 minutes and come back in 10 minutes and we'll carry on. Some absolutely stunning images still to come, so I will catch you all in a short while and we shall go through the results, and hopefully I'll be able to make my mind up which one I'm going to keep. Catch you later.